Racing, Tigalong Tonka way okay. Gladioli Bale alongside began well as they make the rush to the first turn. A bit of trouble behind. Fate carved across and got to the lead. Tigalong Tonka out by 3 on Gladioli Bale for Midnight Monarch. Next the outside Fabriola Z from Arizona. Rise in Bellali and Magic will last and spotting the favourite Tigalong Tonk at almighty distance. Around the turn it's Tigalong Tonk 6 in front of Gladioli Bale in second. Then Midnight Monarch, but Tigalong Tonk a brilliant start to the cup heats. Tigalong Tonk too good for Gladioli Bale. Racing, Shimmer Shine away okay. Wasn't the best to leave and crossing it early. Wendell and Bala, they Shimmer Shine digging up the rail now. Get through and lead through the pen. Second on settling Wendell and Bale. Bobby the Brute found the rail third. Ahead of Aston Gwen and next in the field was Chun Li. Kinlock Moss second last, drifted away with them all to pass and Shimmer Shine's put the foot down. But Bobby the Brute's taking ground off at a rapid rate. There's 6 lengths on Aston Gwen. Shimmer Shine first for home, led by 4. Bobby the Brute flying, but it won't be fast enough. Shimmer Shine wins. Beats Bobby the Brute. They're off. Catch the Thief was away okay and then back towards a tail. So work to do for the favourites. Halbert Bale that led. Catch the Thief drives the fence and Aston Kate around a third. Fourth was Buster Record. Next in the field was Fancy Francine and a mile off them Yoringa. And there's one more out the back as well. Coming off the back, the leader Catch the Thief. He got up underneath of Halbert Bale and sped away. Then Aston Cade further astern, Buster Record and Fancy Francine. But Catch the Thief is racing into the Geelong Cup final. He won it by 4. They're off. Simon told Helen began okay. He musters through in the middle along with swift timing and the Faith got to the fence. Denzel Bale got the ride over to second and third, leaving the straight with swift timing. Fourth in the race was Jack's Bale up on the fence. Lucy's Milo next Capra. Well back Megadosa, road to success. It's Simon told Helen in front. 6 clear off the back of Denzel Bale. Lucy's Milo, then Jack's Bale. Capra was next from Megadosa, road to success. But Simon told Helen further in front on the turn. Away he goes. He wins it by 8 lengths. Racing. Winning the start on the inside, Yozo Bale. Junk Fu Jumpkey was away okay. Tanami Express drove through to get the third. Fourth Lethal Image from Ledgerwood Libby, who just went a bit deep. Others got thrown underneath. Sweet as Malaya Bale. Into the back, it's Yozo Bale leading the way up by 2 lengths on Junk Food Junkie. 2 astern to Tanami Express, then Malaya Bale, who's making ground but wide. Sweet as heading the remainder on the swing. Inside Yozo Bale, Junk Food Junkie to the outside. Malaya Bale late right up at the fence. Sweet as
And good evening everyone and welcome to the Beckley Centre here at Geelong for the 2020 Geelong Gold Cup Facebook Live show. I'm Troy Harley, I'm hosting the show tonight, and obviously a very different Gold Cup to the previous so many years with obviously nobody here during COVID. What has certainly been reliable is the weather. Apparently it rains every Gold Cup, but what also has been sort of very different this year is the 520 metre Gold Cup, and the ground racing gods certainly shined upon Geelong in terms of the grounds were able to compete with an outstanding field to be drawn here for race number 8, amassing $1.6 million in prize money to date and a genuine 520 metre field. So I'm not the talent tonight, I'm just the host. I'll firstly welcome in one of the major talents in ground racing media. He called Healesville this morning the voice and now the face of ground racing. Welcome James Vandermark.
Very big introduction, Troy, but I'm rapt to be here, mate. This Geelong Cup field, I think the club would be tickled pink. I mean, the big four, as they're being called throughout the week, it's just a wonderful lineup. And the Geelong Cup has been such a good lead up to the Melbourne Cup. And I think with the distance going to 520 metres, there's a big chance that's only going to strengthen. We've seen greyhounds like Black Magic Opal, who have won the 460 and then gone on to win the Melbourne Cup. And this year, I think it could be a repetition of that. So can't wait to see how the race plays out. That first corner is going to be the telling factor.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a typical 520 metre race, I guess. And for those that weren't aware what we're talking about, the racing gods, obviously the $1 million chase. Finals on the same night as the heats, but those 4 big guns got knocked out, or 3 of the big guns. The other one went to the Adelaide Cup. They got knocked out. And certainly the club, it's probably disappointing that there's no one here, but certainly plenty of people watching live. It'll be an outstanding race.
Oh, 100% will be. And like you say, to have Shimmer Shine knocked out of the $1 million chase, well, it was just a huge plus for the Geelong Cup, really. And he's hoping to emulate what his mum did, Shimmer Song, in winning a 460 metre rendition of the Geelong Cup. So $50,000 to the winner. It's a great race, the Geelong Cup. And as I said, I just can't wait to see where they get to that first corner. Shimmer Shine, can he drive through? Can he hold the pace? You've got Tigalong Tonk, who'll be looking to shoulder his way through at the first corner. And then Simon Told Helen, who I think has just got that incredible turn of pace through the first bend, and I think this track could really suit him. Catch the Thief. I think it was the run of the heats last week, Troy. He scrambled away just as he left the lids, and then he somehow just picked up so quickly. His recovery rate was out of this world. So if he can reproduce that, obviously box 6 is his challenge. But look, Gladioli, Bale, Bobby the Brute, there are so many chances. We talk of the big four, but I think there's a few other chances as well.
That's right, we do talk of the big four, and yet there's a Bendigo Cup winner in there that's not mentioned in any of that big four. And we've got the Speed Greyhound in Gladioli, Bale, and obviously Bobby the Brute's run last week was outstanding. To give a little bit of consistency and continuity in Geelong Cup coverage, I don't want to make this next person feel old, but I do know that her first hosting gig was on the 2000 Geelong Cup. So here 20 years ago, 3 or 4 days ago. Welcome in, Simone Fisher.
Thank you very much, Troy and James. It's wonderful to be back here at Geelong, and yes, it started for me 20 years ago when Sue Ellen Bale won the Geelong Cup and Miss Tantine ran second. I remember it vividly. I was here with Andrew Bensley for Sky at the old track, none of this double track, and the grandstand wasn't like this, the old bar, and I remember it being quite a balmy night too, so a little bit different to what we've had in the most recent years. But you are right, Troy, it does seem that this time of the year, the typical spring carnival weather, it really does, could be raining one minute, humid the next, so the track can be not inconsistent, but can probably give punters a little bit of a run for their money at times as well. But terrific field, and like you've been talking about the big four, I think it's what order are they going to run, but of course we mustn't discount the other four runners as well in the final. And I think stepping up to this 520 metres as well, which has come with some criticism, but look, we've got a terrific field, and it was nice to have a change. I think refreshing to have a different distance for a country cup. We're so used to those sprints, aren't we? But we've got a lot of these city class chasers that run a strong 500. Bit of drizzle here tonight may really help in their favour. You've got a couple of greyhounds that can run over the 600 metres in the final as well. So it really puts it into the mix. We haven't spoken about Sweet as M, but drawn off the pink box there, not known for early pace, but certainly a strong runner. So it really gives a good mix and dynamic to this cup field for 2020.
And we talk about change, Simone. 20 years ago, old grandstand, old track. In that time, then we've had new track, new facilities, 460 metres now, 520. The atmosphere, obviously, these days compared to those days is very, very different. But to have a dog like Sue Ellen Bale win that race 20 years ago in the old, no doubt, a very big crowd, to then have dogs, probably held in very similar esteem, racing tonight, as I said, you've got $1.6 million in prize money to no one. What a massive difference the world's changed in a very short period of time.
Oh, it certainly has. I remember that night, there was no real glitz and glamour. Things have come a long, long way in the production and presentation of these terrific greyhounds and showcasing them. And I think, it's just moving with the times, and it's only going to get bigger and better as we move forward as well. But I just remember that night, it was just, your real punters, and there was no real family atmosphere as such, and no grand presentation. It was very unique in itself, but it just, eons away from what we're at this year.
I must say as well, Simone, that I think if there is one positive to come out of COVID, it is the fact that I think people really took for granted the fact that you could jump in the car and go watch a Geelong Cup and see the superstar greyhounds go around. I think a lot of the time we just sat at home and said, we won't worry about it this week. We might go to the Cox Plate next year. And I think after having, a half a year stuck at home effectively, I think the one positive we may take from that is the fact that people aren't going to take those opportunities for granted, and to get out and see these racing equine or greyhound athletes in their prime, it's just so good to see them in the flesh, and I can't wait to see what we get to see tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's quite funny. It's probably been, particularly for the two, I'll say lesser codes, the harness and the greyhounds, probably the best 6 months of quality racing that they've had. I mean, the harness obviously have had the Ride Highs and Lochinvar Arts, and we've had this group of 4 or 5 dogs just been absolute superstars, and obviously the veteran and up and coming stars as well. We haven't been able to actually present that to people on course, but hopefully that shows like this we'll certainly be able to, and hopefully they're enjoying it.
Well, that's the other positive. Now you can sit at home and jump onto Facebook, and you get all of the broadcast in depth from the Geelong Cup, and hopefully, look, how are your confidence levels tonight, guys? Are we tipping winners aplenty, or how do we feel?
Oh, I don't know if I'm ever overly confident, James, tipping winners aplenty, putting the pressure on, but going back those 20 years ago, I'm going to blow my own trumpet a little bit. I had some help. I picked 8 winners on a 12-race program. Never ever did that again. Admittedly, there are a lot of favourites, but I was a beginner that night, so I needed something to go my way.
You only get 3 races tonight. We expect 3 out of 3.
I used to love calling the Warrnambool Classic heats because there used to be a couple of really fast greyhounds in a few of the heats, and some that I guess they'd paid the nomination fee, I think, when they were really young. So you'd have a couple that haven't performed maybe to the hopes of the owners, and you'd have those superstar greyhounds. And as a race caller, you'd send through your tips knowing that you're going to tip at least 8 or 9 because they were $1.10, $1.15. But unfortunately, no Warrnambool Classic to make me look good anymore, so it's a bit tougher now.
So Simone, tonight you'll be doing our presentations for the 3 races for the club and also for the Facebook show and interviewing the winning trainers for that. So you're not far off getting ready for the derbies. Before you do that, early feel for the Geelong Cup.
For the Geelong Cup, I've gone with Simon Told Helen. I know possibly box 7, he's got to get across the field and get across Catch the Thief, but he showed last week running that 5:34 early. I think he can definitely do it, so I've put him on top over number 2 Shimmer Shine, who's been racing in terrific form and looks very well boxed here tonight. Number 6 Catch the Thief, again one of these superstar greyhounds, and number 4 Geelong Tonk, who perhaps isn't overly well drawn, but we know he's a class chaser as well, and he showed some pace last week and a very confident type of win for him last week. He got so far in front. So 7, 2, 6 and 4 are my numbers in this year's Geelong Cup.
Thanks for that, Simone. Well, you can head down to the presentation area and get ready for that for us while myself and James look at the Geelong Derby, which is the first of our feature races, the Beckley Centre Geelong Derby, which is race number 6. And a quick look at the tab odds to date, James. We've got Mr. Fix-It in box number 1, an even money favourite. Ahead of Super Zoom Jake at $4. Drum Roll Please at $5.50 along with Perfect Colour. So Mr. Fix-It, obviously the short price favourite, racing in outstanding form.
Yeah, look, I think the real big plus for Mr. Fix-It is the draw as well, because last week he just had to work a little bit from box number 3. Russian Sub begun very quickly, was able to hold him off the rail, Troy, and he was just caught exposed on the outside. As you'd say in harness terms, he was in the death chair for the majority of the race, but he was able to grind home, and he still went 26.01. So from box number 1, I think he's going to have to do a little bit less work in the run to the first corner. Here at Geelong, he's unbeaten. He's had 4 starts, 4 wins over the 460 metres, and you wind back to his 2 runs at the Meadows, 30th of September, 10th of October, he split 5.02 and 5.05. So if he reproduces that, he's unbeaten here at Geelong. I think he ticks every box to say he should win the Geelong Derby.
And in those Meadows runs, he outpaced a genuine speedster in music event and did it quite comfortably. So you think for box 1, as you say, the $2 is probably looking at reasonable odds. Super Zoom Jake handled his box quite well and went well last week in the heat.
He was a good run last week, Super Zoom Jake. The only, I guess, question mark I raise upon this great greyhound is he going to get the same run through the field? Like, was it maybe a little bit of luck, or was it just all class? But he did sort of somehow come from box number 8 and lob leaders back, and then he shot through. And look, he ran the time, 25.82, and I think if he can reproduce that, he's a real genuine player. I thought Perfect Colour was a good run in that race. He was just right up on the speed. He was another greyhound that was caught working, but he continued to punch away, and he only went down 1 3/4. And interestingly enough, despite being beaten, Perfect Colour still went over a length quicker than Mr. Fix-It in winning his heat. So I think the yellow might be one that maybe just slips under the radar, although the market has him around $5 and $1.60, so they haven't let him get too far off the chart there, Perfect Colour.
No, definitely not. And we go back to the Geelong Cup moving forward. The inside or outside, what are you seeing here? I mean, I've looked at some box statistics at the 520 earlier in the week, and actually Simon Told Helen in 2020, there hasn't been a lot of races, there's been no box 7 win a race at 520.
Is it really?
So
yeah.
Could be the first dog in 2020 to win a race out of the box 7 at 520, but obviously 2-turn racing, the box draw is a lot more important than 1-turn racing.
And I think Simon Told Helen almost is the outlier in that sense, because he has so much early speed that he could jump from box 15, Troy, and he's probably going to find a way to whiz around 14 other dogs. He's just got that brilliance about him. But I think there is a clear advantage to be not so much drawn well, but in the right position at the first corner, because it is a fairly tight first corner. They swing to that back straight, and I think it is really important to either be on the rail or following the leader who is on the rail. And when I speak about that, I look towards maybe a greyhound like Gladioli Bale, who last week from box number 7 came out, crashed really hard to get across to the inside, was far from disgrace behind Geelong Tonk because it lost a little bit of momentum. We're only about 4 or 5 minutes away from the derby as well, which is pretty exciting stuff. But
we need to remind people watching the show that
yes,
our coverage of the race is probably going to be 30 or 40 seconds beyond the real time. So you're having a bet, we'll give you a bit of an indication at the minute mark. You're nearly ready to do that.
Correct, and we'll make sure we get our tips out nice and early as well. But yeah, look, Gladioli Bale's one who I think just comes up really well drawn. Has it got the class of the big four? Maybe not, but that might be the difference from the inside in comparison to Simon Told Helen. Bobby the Brute's the other runner. How about him last week? I mean, he wanted to go hard to the rail at the start. He gave Shimmer Shine a head start, and he was mowing him down at the end. I thought his run was enormous.
Run was incredible, and to be not mentioned really in the top 4 or 5 in this race just shows the depth of the
strength,
race. We might have a look at the tips actually for the Geelong Derby. We had Simone's tips here, so we'll go through Simone's tips first up. We've got Simone tipped Mr. Fix-It. I think we all tipped Mr. Fix-It. Simone's numbers were 1, 3, 8 and 5. Mr. Fix-It ahead of Drumroll Please, which is interesting, probably more suited to a much longer trip, but was obviously looking to be steaming home. She's got 8 Super Zoom Jake in for third and 5 Perfect Colour in for fourth. As far as your tips go, James, you're sticking with Mr. Fix-It?
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with the red. Just as I said before, I think he ticks every box and he should be pretty hard to beat. And from memory, his mum, Alpha Demeter, was a really good, fast, hard railing type of dog as well. So I think he'll use the red and I think he'll win the Derby. I went 1, 5, 6 and 7. I've gone the yellow for second, Perfect Colour. Just think he's one that slips under the guard. His run was good. He had to work last week. I've gone 6, Who back there. One we haven't touched on yet, but this Greyhound just jumps out of the ground late and did that last week, storming home for a minor placing. And Russian Sub, another Greyhound that just has that little bit of burn early, went 6:48 to the first peg. And if I go through the list here, Troy, it was the fastest to the first peg. So in a race like this, I think if you can get into a good place, it could be the key to running well. So I've settled on 1, 5, 6 and 7.
Well, I'll round out the three of us to give the tips with Mr. Fix-It as well. I've gone number 1, Mr. Fix-It. Just think ideally drawn, hard to fault any of the form. On 7 out of 10, 4 out of 4 here. And as I said, outsped music event in back-to-back runs at the Meadows. So I like Mr. Fix-It. To beat 8, Super Zoom. Jake went very well off the box here last week, putting in for third, Perfect Colour. And for fourth, number 2, Just a Giggle. Very similar to the Kennelmate Who back there. I think they can certainly both be competitive in the race. We've got 3 minutes to the race. Looking at that market again, Mr. Fix-It the favourite. On fixed odds, currently $2 and now also $2 on the Parimutuel. And $2.90 a place Parimutuel. Would be nice if it held up.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I was just having a look at the fixed odds market movers on this race, and it's been a very, very spirited betting event. We've got Mr. Fix-It, who's 210 into 2, now back out to 210. Just a Giggle, fixed odds moves here, 15 right out to 34. They don't want a bar of the 2. Drumroll Please has been 5 out to 6, back into 5.50, so a little bit of a nibble when he got out to $6. Twin Pick has been 17 out to $23, a little bit shorter on the tote. And the bottom 5, Perfect Colour, 8.50 into $5. That's probably the market move for the race. Who back there, 17 to 23. They don't want the speed of Russian Sub, 17 to 51. And Super Zoom Jake around $4 into $3.80. So there's been money for a few of them.
That sounds like a very good betting race, which is probably why Mr. Fix-It is still holding the black odds. We've got 1 minute to go before the Geelong Derby. I'll quickly run through the Geelong Cup early market as well while we've got that. We've got Gladiola Bale at $19 from box number 1. Shimmer Shine at $2.80 in favourite. Bobby the Brute at $26. Tigalong Tonk at $4.60. Yozo Bale at $34. Catch the Thief at $4.20. Simon Told Helen at $3.10 and Sweet As M at $26. So at the moment, still a couple of races away from the Geelong Cup. It's $2.80 favourite is Shimmer Shine. This trot race is nearly over. We're not too far off having a start here in the Beckley Centre Geelong Derby final. All 3 of us, James, myself and Simone, we've all gone for Mr. Fix-It from a multiple of other numbers, but it's the even money favourite heading to the boxes, and we'll catch that race live on the Watchdog app very, very soon. Just remembering too, if you're watching us on the show, give yourself a minute if you're going to have a bet. If you want to back our bets or someone else's bets, take your pick. But our coverage, we're putting the live feed through from the Watchdog app. It's about 15 seconds behind Sky Channel, which obviously is about a similar situation behind live. So as they're getting to the boxes now, bit of rain falling too by the look of it. Does that change the pattern of the Cup at all?
I don't think it does. I think these Greyhounds, they've been there, they've raced under all conditions, and the track surfaces here, especially in Victoria, I can speak of, they are always in wonderful condition. They handle the rain, they handle the sunshine, they handle everything. They're very safe for racing, and I don't think light rain like this would impact too much.
And one thing about Burren Beach Sand, there's nothing wrong with the rain.
They enjoy
all it does is save the club's money from turning the sprinklers on a warm day, I can guarantee you. So that's one good thing about it. It certainly needs to be wet, and I don't think the conditions condition of the track will certainly make any difference, but just whether or not the direction of the rain or anything else does cause any dramas. But we're at the boxes at the moment, just parading behind the boxes. Mr. Fix It drifting again now, $2.15. Super Zoom Jake, $3.70. Perfect Colour, $5.50. Just a little bit of a drifting Mr. Fix It, and a little bit more money for Super Zoom Jake off box 8.
Well, this red just giving us a little bit more value, really, out to $2.15. They're being pretty generous.
$2.40 Parimutuel.
Yeah, $2.40 on the toad. He's won his last two. He looked impressive. He's unbeaten here. As I said, he ticks a lot of boxes. So we'll see what transpires. He's got box number 1, and I think he'll be crowned the Derby winner tonight.
We'll head over to the Watchdog now, and
then of course the Beckley Centre Geelong Gold Cup, race number 8. At Group 2 level, $50,000 to the winner. Right, assembly at the start here. Assembly at the start. And behind the boxes now, no sign of a move up at this stage. No sign of a move up Geelong at the start. So at the starting area for race 6, the Derby final. Starting signal. They're about to move in, about to get set now. The Beckley Centre Geelong Derby final. Right, Steve, Mr. Fix It, number 1, the favourite here. First leg of the Daily Double. Second leg of the Quaddie. First leg went to Lachlan Bay Juice at odds of $18.50. And they're getting set now. Mr. Fix It in box number 1 is the number 1 elect. Good chances in the race are given to Drumroll Please number 3 and also number 8 Super Zoom Jake, all from the Angela Langton or Jeff Britton kennel. Coming to line now, getting set, race 6, the Derby final. Moving in, Mr. Fix It in box 1, the favourite. Now they're ready, green light, box set for a start. About to go, ready. Racing, Mr. Fix It on the inside, a little bit slow to begin and speed after the start there from Drumroll Please. Going around the outside there came Super Zoom Jake towards the leader and pushing through on the centre was Perfect Colour. Coming off the back straight on Super Zoom Jake the leader, led by a length and a half to 2. Mr. Fix It going around the outside, Russian Sub on the move, followed further back by Perfect Colour, who back there, and back at the tail is Twin Pick in the straight though, and Super Zoom Jake the leader, and Super Zoom Jake's going to win the Derby from Mr. Fix It. Third is close, Drumroll Please, Twin Pickle, Perfect Colour. They'll follow it in behind them then as they cross the line by just a giggle, and who back there was a fair way back in the race there with Russian Sub, and the time is showing around 25.97.
So an Angela Langton Quinella in the Beckley Centre Geelong Derby, not the drifting favourite, but the reasonably well supported kennelmate. They ran 1-2.
Yeah.
As you said, once went the first turn, Super Zoom Jake in front. That was it.
It was a game set match, and the red just, we heard it in the call as well from Ronnie Hawkswell, just missed the kick a little bit, and he had to work really hard to get underneath the Perfect Colour, and when they just came together off the end of that back straight, it was just space for the pink to come across, and all credit to this Greyhound, because last week I said, was he just a little bit lucky in the way he ducked and weaved through the field, or was he just classy? You've got one eye on the Manikato, I see there.
Yeah, they've just jumped in the Manikato. Normally this is my double header of Mooney Valley weekend, but just something on trekking in the Manikato. We'll just see how it goes.
Yeah,
but,
we'll talk through that. What's that? Trekking's 4th, is he?
Yeah, running fourth in the running lane there. Probably
4th or
3
5th,
deep,
yeah, 3 deep though, not looking great. But no, back to the Derby. Look, I thought Mr. Fix It was a bit unlucky, but as I said, Super Zoom Jake to again find the position. It shows it wasn't just a bit of luck last week. He's clearly getting better and better with his field sense, and he deserved to take out that Geelong Derby.
And GRV marketing guru Molly Haynes just gave a little bit of information on Mr. Fix It. Obviously the name of the Mr. Fix It didn't win the Derby, but Angela Langton gifted it to one of her workers, Stan Bauer, who does quite a few of the handyman work around there, so I guess hence the name Mr. Fix It. So I did run second, but still a good result. But more importantly, that race was worth $7,250 to the winner. Not a bad support race on Geelong Cup night.
And when I found out that Ange was being so generous, I was maybe thinking Angela might need a trainer for the dog up at Hillsville. So we'll see how we go. I'll give her a buzz this week. Trekking's just going to miss.
Just going to get beat. So
Haydock?
Mr. Fix It second. Haydock looks like
Haydock
it's held on.
Yeah, I think
very
Haydock's
good
won it
Manikato
from-
State. There's not going to be rain at the moment either, so the Cox Plate might stay dry.
Who wins the Cox Plate tomorrow, by the way?
We'll come back to that before we finish the show.
Yeah, Russian
Have a bit of a
Camelot,
look.
Arcadia Queen.
Yeah, I'm probably leaning towards Arcadia Queen.
It was a good run
More
last
Russian
start.
Camelot, but yeah, very good race as always is.
Yeah, it
always
shall
is.
be. Oh, look, it's all happening here, mate. The Oaks still to come, and the Cup. In the Oaks, is there anything that just early giving the punters a little bit of a lead in, a little bit of a tease, I guess? Don't give away all your all your bullets there, Troy, but is there anything that you're leaning toward at this stage?
But I actually like My Girl Kizzy. I thought that at the value, it's gone quick at Sandown. It was a good run here last week to break the 26 after missing the kick. Molly Blaze is the $2.80 favourite. My Girl Kizzy was a very good run behind it. Currently $5.50, but as I said, Molly Blazer is the current $2.80 favourite. Surprising Annika Bale that both yourself and Simone have gone for. It's $4.40 at the moment. A very open race, though. $18 Gypsy Zelda, $4.40 Annika Bale, $5.50 My Girl Kizzy, $2.80 Molly Blazer, $7.50 Weblek Whirl, $26 Don't Argue Love, $7.50 Sorella Bale, and $5.50 Gypsy Bun. So, look, I like My Girl Kizzy. Yourself?
Look, I'm leaning to the speed of Annika Bale. It really flew the lids last start. 6:48 it ran, yeah. I think if it reproduces that, it's just going to be hard to beat from the front. Look, Russian Sub was the greyhound in the Derby who speared the start last week, and it just shows they don't always do exactly what they did the week prior, but Annika Bale's just starting to show a little bit more reliable pace week in, week out, and look, might be one that can run along in the Oaks from box number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, the only thing with Annika Bale, I guess, not always consistent at doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
But, that's these conditions we spoke about, these rainy conditions, not so much a track, but sometimes that greyhound's mindset is just how they're going to go coming out of the boxes.
Well,
People haven't seen it for a period of time, too, the underdogs.
I was going to say, Troy, if it was raining like this and I was going for a run, which is very, very rare, especially these days, if it was raining, I'd stay inside. So I can understand why they may miss the start.
I didn't mind playing footy in the rain because it brought the speed blokes back to us, slow blokes, but that was quite good. But look, we've got Simone Fisher down there now. I think she's pretty much ready for the presentation.
Second go around the track, so he was naturally going to get better, and I think he pinged the box today, so definitely went better.
You had your other kennel mate, Mr. Fix-It, off the red, and he did muster that pace, but just couldn't hold this guy out, who's quite strong. But like you said, well drawn. He's had 4 wins off the pink box to date, and that makes it 5 now. Yeah. So once he got clear, you must have been quite confident that he was going
cheering.
to...
Yes, definitely cheering, out aloud. No, it's great to be in front, and obviously on a wet track, they've got to, chase it down. So, and he is a strong 500 dog, so yeah, very much suited to this track.
He looks like he's, done it a little bit hard, a little bit of puffing there on a wet track, but the time there, 25.97, not his PB of 25.82, but in these conditions got very close. So the kennel must be very happy with that run tonight.
Very, very much so. Angela's had him for about a month, so she's done a great job with him, and we're hopefully next run will be in town. So
one of the more experienced chasers in this Derby field tonight as well. He's had 28 starts now and 11 wins, so looks like he's got a good future in town, given that he is strong.
Yes, I think so. His mother was a Group 2 winner, Mama Josie. So yeah, he's very well bred, and he should run the distance and probably mature and get stronger.
And looking back through his form, Vince, he led all the way at Sandown a couple of starts ago, ended up running 3rd, but like you mentioned, getting stronger as they go around a little bit more, and tonight was a very encouraging run and a good confidence run, I guess, for the dog too.
Yes, it was his first look at Sandown. It was a heavy track as well, so dogs inside got found out if they weren't prepared to run it out strong. So I'm sure he will equip himself better next time round.
Looks like quite a versatile chaser as well you've got in your hands there. So congratulations to you and the Angela Langton kennel tonight. A terrific run in the Derby. $7,250 to the winner there. But it was a great run in very trying conditions here tonight. So congratulations.
Thanks, Simone. I appreciate it.
And Troy and James, that's Vince Borg, who is handling Super Zoom Jake off the 8 box here tonight in the Geelong Derby. So a terrific effort, and if we had have done our tips prior to the race, I'm sure we probably would have jumped on the 8.
And thanks very much for that, Simone, and a very good insight there from Vince Borg. Angela Langton only had the ground for a month. Was happy with the rain, with a heavy track, and head to town now for some 500 metre race.
Well, it's interesting because we spoke about the track and whether or not the wet track could play to an advantage, and Connections obviously believing it can make it a little bit harder to run out the 460 metres, and like he said, the Greyhound had the 500 metre form, and the question mark going into the Derby, I think, was box number 8. Is he going to get into a good enough place where he's within striking position? And as it turned out, that was the case, and he was too good. We'll get those tote divvies out just quickly on that previous. It was 8, 1, 3 and 4 4. Drumroll Please has come from absolutely nowhere to run the third, but $4 $150 the winner, $130 and $180. If you snuck the Quinella, wasn't too hard to get, I guess. The two faves at the end, $3.40, Exacta just over 10, Trifecta 42, the first four $159. You got the running double here on Super Tab, $78.70. So as it turned out, the favourites go 1-2, and Super Zoom Jake, fastest qualifier through, ends up winning the race. How often do we say that?
Does happen a lot. We always try and go around the fastest qualifier at times, thinking those excuses for others, but it's pretty any form line, like most winning form is. Well, next up is the Miller's Muzzles Geelong Oaks. The Miller's Muzzles have been sponsoring this club for a long, long time, and have been making some outstanding muzzles for a long, long time.
I was going to say,
I'm trying to grab the trophy. This is an outstanding trophy. If I can get away from the camera there for Cambo, but that's the Geelong Oaks trophy, the Miller's Muzzle trophy.
From my limited training experience, that's normally a female muzzle, about 27 kilos, roughly, with the black one. That's how we tell what size it is through the colour of the muzzle with Miller's Muzzles, and that is a lovely piece. And I guess if you're a trainer and maybe you haven't had a winner for a while, you're doing it tough, you could rip the trophy apart and use it on one of your greyhounds if need be.
Mind you, the 72.50 the winner, I don't think you need you need a pinch of muzzle.
You better put that back, Troy, because I'm worried you're going to take off with it, mate.
The 72.50 or the muzzle?
Both.
But we'll have a quick look again. Camo's going to kill us because we're not haven't got on the screen. The Geelong Cup market, just to see if any changes at the moment. We've got Gladiator Bale still at $19. Actually, you got any fixed odds fluctuations there for the Geelong Cup to have a look? Because Shimmer Shine is still the $2.80 favourite and $2.60 on the Parimutuel. Catch the Thief $4.40. Simon Told Helen $3.20, but $4 Parimutuel. And I would imagine the pool's reasonably solid. So some of those Parimutuel variances are quite extraordinary at the moment, but just any fixed odds flux.
Well, we're seeing Gladioli Bale was 51 into 19 from box number 1, so there's a long odds move for the red. Shimmer Shine opened up at 3. This morning opened up at $2.80, still $2.80, so still very steady. Bobby the Brute's won $31 into 23 this morning, and then has continued to firm into $19. Tick Along Tonks opened up at 5, now into $4.40. Yozo Bale not really wanted, 16 out to 34. Catch the Thief, we all know how good he is, around $4.20. Simon Told Helen, look at this, we've got an in-depth looking screen on the telly here. This is looking good. Simon Told Helen $3 out to $3.20, and Sweet as M 16 out to 26. But a little bit like the Derby, Troy, it's not like they're a normal race in the sense we've got one or two that have been back. They're at different times in the betting has been a little bit of a sprinkle of money for a few of them.
And I suppose if you like a ground that's not in that big fours we talked about, you're always going to get value early on in the market. I'm just a little bit worried when Cambo screens, he's our producer Paul Campbell, shares his computer screen. I'm not really sure what will come up sometimes, so I apologise in advance if the wrong thing comes up. But look, it's just probably one of those races that if you go outside those couple of main ones, there's plenty of value. But our next feature race coming up, as we said, is the Miller Muzzles Geelong Oaks, and the early market there at the moment, we have Gypsy Zelda in box number 1 at $18. We have Annika Bale, the Speedster, in $4.40. My Girl Kizzy at $5.50. Molly Blazer, the favourite, at $2.80 and $1.80 now on the Parimutuel. We've got Weblack Whirl at $7.50. Don't Argue Love at $26. Sorella Bale at $7.50. And Gypsy Bun at $5.50 Parimutuel and $5.50 fixed and $10.50 Parimutuel. So a bit of variance there in the market as well.
There is. And there's been some great winners of the Geelong Cup though, hasn't there? Talking back about the Geelong Cup, I mean, we look back to Black Magic Opal, as I said, Haranui Hitman, one who springs to mind, who then went on, I think, to run third or second in a Melbourne Cup. It's been such a strong lead-up race, and I guess in a way it's the start of the Melbourne Cup Carnival here.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's obviously your Nationals have a bit of a break after the Nationals traditionally in August, and then head back for a bit of a freshen up and either head here or Adelaide, and then head on through to the Spring Carnival. But we spoke about Simone's first ever Geelong Cup with Sue Ellen Bale. She was an absolute machine, and won the inaugural Paws of Thunder in Sydney, and I think she might have run second in the Melbourne Cup that year. So that's quite a good form. But the history itself of all the country cups in Victoria, particularly 4 or 5 of these bigger venues where the population's there and the placing of the races right. It starts at Geelong, goes through the Melbourne Carnival, through the Meadows, the Top Gun, and the Melbourne Cup, and normally finishes at the Ballarat Cup.
Yeah, it does. It's a very big sort of 6-week block, isn't it? But if you're sitting at home and you're watching us on the Facebook live stream, maybe comment if you've had a successful Geelong Cup in years gone by, or there's one that you you immediately spring to mind and you say, wow, that was just an unbelievable win. I always go back to Black Magic Opal because I think that lead up to the Melbourne Cup was something special. He broke the track record, which still stands today. His sections were off the chart. And he was just such a wonderful greyhound, Black Magic Opal, and he'd be my pick as the one that I guess stands out, but there has been so many good winners.
It's just an awesome honour roll, there's no question of that. And I suppose one question to you, James, is how many of these feature races are won by sons or daughters of females that have won the race before that Shimmer Shine's going to try and do? There wouldn't be too many winners of some of these big group races have gone on to throw a winner of a big group race.
Well, you go through the breeding of a lot of these this year, actually, and Quiz Bale, she won a WA Oaks back in about 2014, I'd say, 2013. Shimmer Song, a Geelong Cup winner. Purcell Bale was very, very capable as well. And then, obviously, Who Told Lindy Lou's litter itself with Simon Told Helen and Who Told Stevie, who sadly passed away this week. It's there are a lot of very, very good dams in this and a lot of very, very good breeding lines, and you sort of bounce back to Shimmer Shine with that I guess proven Geelong Cup form. Will it go through and will it work for Shimmer Shine? I get a bit excited there and almost called it Shimmer Shong, but Shimmer Shong. I'm a little bit tired, mate. I've got a newborn at home, so you have to let me off when I start speaking another language, which is happening a little bit at the moment.
I'm surrounded by this at the moment. You've got the newborn at home now, and Molly was she was supposed to be on screen for us tonight, but she's decided that she was a bit off colour, which we were hoping to add a bit more class to the show they're out to, but thankfully Simone was able to join us, but Molly's been a little bit ill, due for a bub in February, so we certainly wish her the best of that. Nice long hot summer ahead for you, Molly. I'm sorry.
She's just sitting there.
In James, I'm sorry.
And that's not me either. That's Molly's husband, James. We better clear that up. But let's turn our attention. What have we got here?
The Geelong Cup. The Geelong Oaks.
Geelong Oaks. Yeah, we're getting a bit carried away, and it's not too far away either. The Geelong Oaks, which is the 7th race on the program. I reckon we get into some selections. We've got the market, but as we've said a couple of times, if you are watching this via the Facebook stream, we are running a little bit behind time in the sense with the delay from the Watchdog Visions. So make sure you get your bets on nice and early. So I reckon in just a tick, mate, we'll rip through some selections. But just having a look at the speed map, for example, who do you see leading? Can Enika Bale reproduce? Because if you go to the Watchdog and you check the speed map via Fast Track, look at that, Troy. There is next to nothing between the whole field.
Certainly not. If Enika Bale hits the lids like she can, there's no question Enika Bale has to lead. I mean, those sections just are crazy. Not just fast sections, they're genuine group sections in terms of what the 460 metre Cups dogs would run. But Gypsy Bun, I mean, it's gone 5:04 at the Meadows as well. Probably the question with the leader of the race is the fact that most of these are inconsistent beginners and hit and miss a little bit at the start. But probably Enika Bale is the one that probably does it more often than not, with Gypsy Bun and Sorella Bale herself as well. I mean, she's got a 5:07 at the Meadows, a couple of runs back, only in 6:71 here last week behind Enika Bale, but missed the kick and then had to burn pretty hard. But it wouldn't surprise me what leads the race, to be honest with you.
Quick question for you, Troy. How much do you put into the fact that certain tracks might favour certain boxes, and you can go back and have a look at the box statistics? And do you think certain tracks, it is an advantage to be drawn out wide in comparison to being drawn close to the rail?
Yeah, I've got no doubt about it. Tracks that have got enough history, obviously, with those boxes can certainly... If most tracks, obviously, your boxes go 1, 2, 8, and then spread out from there. They're normally your top 3 boxes. But I think if tracks have got more of a bias to the outside box, I wouldn't call it a bias, but if the stats are they're the outside box, you've certainly got the more ability. You don't have to be... Normally you've got to be a length and a half faster to cross from box 8 to a dog from box 1 to get there and then get around it. But if there is a bit of a pattern in those statistics, I think it certainly helps those greyhounds.
Yeah, it's a bit like the F1. I think it does pay to start from the front row of the grid and just hold the rail through the first corner. I think they call it track position. I've just stumbled across a video on Facebook Live at the moment that's streaming. 2 very, very good-looking roosters.
What channel's that?
I think it's on the GRV site, to be honest. But no, they're doing a good job by the looks of it too.
Well, if that's the case, we must thank Clint Anderson for his wonderful lights, because they've done an outstanding work. It must be like Madame Two Swords or something.
Yeah, no, it's not that great. I was talking us up a little bit, Troy. But
that's a better photo.
The one thing is, the racing is great. And this Oaks field, we'll get into some selections for the Millers Muzzles Geelong Oaks final.
Yep.
I hope the Hawk doesn't try and spit that out when they're about to cross the line, because it doesn't come off the tongue. But I've settled on 2, 1, 3 and 4 as my selections here. I've gone with the speed of Enika Bale. I think we'll know our chances very, very soon after the lids fly. We don't want a reproduction of Mr. Fix-It, who just missed the kick a shade. I've gone the red for second, Gypsy Zelda. I think the box draw brings this greyhound right into calculation. I've gone with 3, My Girl Kizzy. If she gets any kind of run at them at the right time, I think she'll be powering home. And number 4, Molly Blazer, who might just about be the fastest overall greyhound in the race, but just where is she going to get to from box number 4? I think that's the big question mark around her.
Yeah, certainly is, mate. My selections in the race are 3, 4, 2 and 8. So I've gone for more of the strength runners, more of those the consistent beginners in My Girl Kizzy on top. I just think if she can find a position reasonably close, she's certainly going to be nice and hard to beat. From number 4, Molly Blazer, as you said, probably arguably the fastest greyhound in the race. I think if she can get clear running, she's going to be in the firing line. Annika Bale, obviously, if she gets the start right, well, she's going to be the leader. And number 8, Gypsy Bun, another one with a little bit of pace, and I think reasonably boxed out there as well. So 3, 4, 2 and 8 are my numbers. And Simone's numbers, well, Simone's holding on umbrella at the moment, trying to stay dry for the Oaks presentation. Her numbers are 2, 4, 8 and 7. She's gone 2, Annika Bale with yourself, from 4, Molly Blazer, 8, Gypsy Bun, and 7, Sorella Bale. So very similar numbers in terms of the force, just the way we've mixed them up. But basically, 2 of us gone for the checks, and myself have gone for the white in My Girl Kizzy. So just looking at those fluctuations again, mate. We've got 6 minutes to the race, so if we're looking to have a bet, we've got Gypsy Zelda, open $18 out to $19. Annika Bale steady at 440. Did get up to 480 at one stage a couple of hours ago, firming into 440. My Girl Kizzy $6 into 550. Molly Blazer 280, 270, then back out to 290. Weblek World 750 into 6, back out to 8. Don't Argue Love 26 out to 34, back to 26. Sorella Bale 750 to 7, and Gypsy Bun $6 into 550.
Must be pretty cold out there, I think, tonight, Troy, as well, because our chief cameraman from Blue Stream Pictures, Mr. Clint Anderson's just wandered through behind the camera set up there, and I for one second thought it might well have been Ned Kelly. He's dressed up, he's got the mask on, the big waterproof jacket and everything. It must be pretty cold out there, Clint. He reckons very, very cold. But he's shining up the camera to make sure he gets the I guess the golden shot, you could call it, in the Oaks and then the Cup.
You talk about his golden shot. I notice obviously football fever, very big. Obviously tomorrow night. There's a few boxes around here and a few signs around here with "Go Cats, Go Cats, Go," and the 680 metre start has that as well. But if you don't follow Blue Stream Pictures on Facebook, you go to Greyhound Clubs Victoria, where our marketing girl Bernie Dillon has shared the video that clearly a very, very vocal Richmond supporter has basically vandalised the Geelong winning post before the first, and has created a bit of interest here before the running of the first race. That's quite fun.
Who are you going for in the grand final?
I've got a 9-year-old who's the greatest Tigers fan in history, so I'm going to have to go for the Tigers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm going to have to go for the Cats.
I probably should be down here.
While we're here, I'm definitely going to say, I actually joked around today because the whole managing team up at the Hillsville Greyhound Club are all crazy, one-eyed Richmond supporters. The Koch crew, they actually sponsor a few races up there at Hillsville, and as I signed off today, I said, well, that wraps up Greyhound racing today at Hillsville, and go the Cats. And I reckon within 1 minute, the phone was ringing. They said, we've got sponsorship deals with owners from or not owners, but from fans of the Richmond Footy Club. And look, either way, it should be a great game, and I'm really looking forward to it. And even to be, I think they're calling it the Ring of Steel, it was nice to be able to get out of Metro Melbourne, come down to Geelong, and obviously tonight there's no crowd and things like that, but you can't help but start to feel the buzz and the atmosphere. You've got the great racing, the great sporting events on at the moment. It just feels so exciting if you love your sport.
Yeah, it's not a bad weekend.
Not a bad weekend.
That's a very good weekend. I mean, we're here Geelong Cup tonight. We've just saw the Manikato Stakes as well. Nice cruisy day, Cox Plate Day tomorrow. Into the AFL Grand Final. NRL Grand Final on Sunday afternoon after the Sale Cup. It used to be the Kilmore Trotting Cup, so I used to have a venture down here from, I was living in New South Wales, just have a big weekend and go there. But Sale Horse Cup's on Sunday, and then we can watch the NRL Grand Final and see if the Melbourne Storm can win that on Sunday.
Who wins, do you reckon, Melbourne Storm?
I think Melbourne Storm wins, and I think if they win, Cameron Smith retires.
And do you think Richmond win, or...?
I think Richmond win.
You think they win?
Yeah, until I get out of Bacchus Marsh. To Bacchus Marsh on the way home is Geelong, but we'll say Richmond.
No, it's going to be close, no doubt about that. We're about 3 minutes away now from the Millers Muzzles Geelong Oaks final. I just love saying that. Millers Muzzles Geelong Oaks final. We're getting better at it every time. Molly Blaze is the favourite currently at $3, and just reiterating what you said earlier, Troy, that if you are watching us via the Facebook stream and you are wanting to wager on the event, make sure you do within plenty of time, because we are running at a slight delay with the Watchdog app delayed feed. But let me tell you, it looks pretty wet out there at the moment. I can see why Clint was rugging up.
Yeah, it looks nice and wet. Poor old Simone's out there. Thankfully, we've got the gap tent for her to do the presentations, and we certainly thank the trainers for basically coming out in the weather and doing this for us, and obviously thanks Simone for being out there and doing that as well, and Molly and everyone else for the setup, and Clint today, because it's obviously been some trying conditions, and basically you're setting up obviously for not a lot to go on apart from us to talk.
I was going to say, I think you've been a bit dodgy there, Troy, and you thought, we'll set up inside. Don't want to go outside. Don't want to get in the rain. Everyone else is doing it tough, and we're living the dream because there's no patrons effectively in here. So we've pretty much got the run of the mill at the moment, which isn't too bad. But this Oaks field, reiterating tips now, we're only about 2 minutes away, a little bit under. I've gone with Enica Bale. It's at $4.80 now. I think it's a fairly good price. I think it's an each-way price for a greyhound that should lead. I think the big question mark just is, where does Molly Blazer get to? If Molly Blazer does a Super Zoom Jake, gets into a good place, we'll sit there and say, well, the form suggested she was going to win the race.
Yeah. I think out of My Girl Kizzy and Molly Blazer, if one of those two get more forward than what we probably think at the original box rule, they're the ground to beat. Obviously, if Enica Bale hits the lids running and puts a gap in him, that'll make it very, very interesting. But the rain looks like it's reasonably solid for this race as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. But at the moment, as we said, Molly Blazer, $3, $3.20 parimutuel. My Girl Kizzy at a $7.10 parimutuel. Enica Bale, $5.20 parimutuel and $4.80 fixed. So plenty of value regardless of what you like in the Miller's Muzzle Geelong Oaks. As we said, on behalf of the club, certainly thank Miller's Muzzles. They've been involved with the Geelong Oaks and the club for a long, long time and supplied many a muzzle.
They have indeed. The greyhounds we haven't spoke of, Troy. Sorella Bale being one of those we haven't had much of a look at. Pretty promising youngster, this one. Did split 5.07 at the Meadows 2 runs ago. Gypsy Bun, I think you mentioned the 5.04 at the Meadows 2 starts ago. Don't Argue Loves. Probably going to find this a little bit tough from the draw. And Webleek Whirl, I think this is a sneaky chance from box number 5. I left it out of my selections, but here's a bit of proof, Troy. Just there, I had it down as the fifth. If there was any scratchings, I just think. Here. Oh, look, I just think the greyhound missed the kicker shade last week, can begin a bit quicker, and if it does, and she gets into a good place, she's got good acceleration, so she might be able to find a place. But 6.48 to the first peg. Enica Bale wins or loses this race at the start, I think, and hopefully it can slip away. But in saying that, if Molly Blaze is within 2 or 3, she'll just mow her down. So it's going to be close, it's going to be exciting, the Geelong Oaks of 2020.
We're about to find out, so off to Ronnie Hawkswell for the...
So it's 2 and 8 after the first 2 legs. The quaddies, the second of our big features, the Miller's Muzzles Geelong Oaks final. The next one will be the prestigious Geelong Cup. Getting set now, move again. Getting set for the Miller's Muzzles Oaks final. The Little Sisters drawn inside outside here. Gypsy Zelda and Gypsy Bun. Green light ready to go. Oaks final about to run. They're set. Racing, and Molly Blazer a little bit slow to begin away fast there. Gypsy Zelda and Sorella Bale speed. They were followed behind them then by Don't Argue Love. Over on the inside there came Enica Bale, followed further back there by Gypsy Bun. Out of the tail is Molly Blazer, and well back there was My Girl Kizzy and Webleek Whirl as they come up to the turn. And Sorella Bale, the leader, skipped away. It's about 4 or 5 lengths out in front. Over Gypsy Zelda, down out the back was Molly Blazer, but Sorella Bale clear. Sorella Bale won the Oak second. Gypsy Zelda third as Don't Argue Love. They were followed behind them then by Gypsy Bun, and then came Webleek Whirl. Behind them then would have been Enica Bale, and the trailer there would have been Molly Blazer, and the race time is around 25.92. And 25.92, number 7 will be the winner. Sorella Bale, number 7, Sorella Bale will be the winner. Stand by for all numbers after the Miller's Muzzles Geelong Oaks final. 6.48, 11.23, time around 25.92. Sorella Bale, number 7. Is the winner by Barcia Bale from Folio Bale, Brendan Wheeler, Andrea Daly, showing around 5.80 and 2.60. Number 7 the winner. Number 1 has run second, Gypsy Zelda, Andrea Daly. 7 the winner, 1 second. Third goes to 6. Don't Argue Love for Craig Traherne. 7.16.
So that was the Miller's Muzzles Geelong Oaks final for 2020. Like the Derby, after a few strides, the strong dog in front, Sorella Bale, and that was all it. But 6.48, 11.23 in those conditions.
You know
so
what was
pace.
Really impressive? The little mate one earlier, a greyhound I've got a bit of time for, Riviera Bale, and went similar sections. She struggles to run the distance out. Sorella Bale's got a little bit more strength, but I'm sure the Dailies and Wheelers would be thrilled with the fact that she was able to show that speed, Sorella Bale, and then finish it off as well and safely hold them. Molly Blazer took a nasty fall coming into the home straight. She flipped a couple of times, but I quickly jumped out behind here and had a look, and she completed the course like nothing was wrong. So that was really, really good news with Molly Blazer. So look, it was a great race. There's no doubt about that. 25.92 for Sorella Bale, beating Gypsy Zelda, a Daily Quinella. They just can't do wrong, the Dailies, and And how about that the other week at Sandown Park? 1,000 Metropolitan winners for Andrea Daly. It is just extraordinary.
It's very hard to get your head around. 1,000
Try and get one winner
Metropolitan winners.
at Sandown.
Yeah. Yep, it's just amazing effort. I've had a couple, but I'm a long way from 1,000, I can guarantee.
Yeah, we'll keep trying though. We'll keep trying.
Oh, absolutely.
716 was the official numbers there, 8 into 4th. I've got the totes, so we'll get to those quickly before we get down to Simone, who no doubt will be chasing down Team Daly. Sorella Bale should pay $5.80 and $2.60. Gypsy Zelda $4, so a bit of roughy value for second and third. Don't Argue Love also at $4, fourth in number 8. So Daly's going 1, 2 and 4. The Quinella $56, Exacta $99, Trifecta $915. First four has paid $5,146 and the running double 8 and 7, $21.40. Now, one thing I'm noticing thus far tonight, especially in these feature races, the outside draws seem to be going very, very well.
Certainly not bothering, that's for sure. And obviously the splits as well. So the rain's certainly not stopping the speed of these greyhounds. There's no question about that. And obviously the track's in absolutely superb condition for those greyhounds to be able to clock those sections. And it's a credit to the guys who've worked very hard to make sure that they can put up with the forecasted rain.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. There's not much else to do at the moment. They don't have to worry about inside. So they'll just have to worry about keeping the track in great order, which they are doing a very, very good job of, I must say. But we're not too far away from the presentation with Simone and the Daly team. But just quickly, we'll turn our attention to the Cup because the countdown is on to the 2020 Beckley Centre Geelong Gold Cup. $50,000 to the winner. That'll all be happening right behind us here at Geelong. And look, the market at the moment, Shimmer Shine $2.80, $4.40 Tiggerlong Tonk, $4.20 Catch the Thief, and $3.30 Simon Told Helen. That big quartet, they just have a stranglehold over the market.
Yeah, they certainly do. But as we said, you've got greyhounds like Bobby the Brute's Run was outstanding last week. He's into $19 now. Gladiola Bale, the speed from box 1, $19. Yozo Bale, the Bendigo Cup winner, at $34. And Sweet as M, nice and strong as well at $26. So it doesn't matter what you like. I certainly wouldn't be ruling them out if you're not looking at the top 4. Yeah,
and we saw Lochinvar Juice win an earlier race tonight. Just got the nice run through at the first corner. That could be Bobby the Brute in the Geelong Cup. Now, for those who are tuning in on Facebook Live, if you haven't already downloaded the Watchdog app, you have to be going crazy. It's absolutely a must-have.
And new things being added to it all the time.
All the time.
It's without question the way to watch ground racing, and the way to get your information, the way to do your tracking, the way to do whatever you need to do. And I think
what I love as well?
Keep evolving.
You can type in a trainer's name, all of the statistics, their lifetime statistics, how many winners, how many starters, their strike rate. There are so many fabulous things. You have to download the Watchdog app today.
Oh, it's outstanding to do that. And obviously the guys at GRV that are certainly working on that in the background. It's wonderful to see. And I think there's a few other additions to come along in terms of live coverage like this. And I know we did some previews for the Bendigo Cup and stuff. So I think that the Watchdog app will just keep getting better and better. If it's not already one of the top racing apps, it'll just keep getting better and better.
It's numero uno as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. And I tell you, the Watchdog guys, the form guides too, if you ever got time to do your own form, certainly don't have any issue in doing that. But we're now ready for the presentation now with Simone
Oaks
Fisher.
Here at Geelong, the Miller's Muzzle Geelong Oaks final. And the winner here, of course, is Sorella Bale, trained by Andrea Daly. And Tom Daly's doing the honours there, putting this lovely rug onto the greyhound and not doing a particularly good job of it, but that'll do, Tom. Yeah, that doesn't matter. We know she's a winner, but Tom, jumping from box 7 tonight, is that where you wanted her to be when you looked at the field?
Yeah, she likes it out wide. She likes it out wide, so it was good.
And in these conditions, it looks like it's the place to be on the track tonight.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it looks a bit wet on the inside, so she ran a good race, got to the front, and that's the main thing.
You had the greyhounds drawn 1 and 2 as well. Got away to a good start, but she just she's got early pace, and she showed it tonight. When she was clear, you must have been fairly confident she'd run on.
Yeah, I kept an eye on her to make sure she kept in front, and she did what she was supposed to. Yeah.
The distance really seems to suit her too over the sprints, although she has won at the Meadows and Sandown. But she's that pacey type, isn't she?
She is. Yeah. 450 is probably more her go. She snuck a couple in town, but we'll just see how she progresses from here.
And that 6:48 early, that does suggest that she's going to win many more races because she can find the front. But you ran first and second in that race, Tom, with number 1 Gypsy Zelda there as well. So a great result for the kennel. But we might just have a really brief chat about the Cup, the next race. You've got 1 and 2, of course, Gladioli Bale off the red and Shimmer Shine box 2. What are your thoughts heading into the Cup tonight, particularly given the conditions now and you're headed down near the rails?
Yeah, extremely hard race. They've both drawn nicely, but very hard race to win. Enormous race, to be honest.
You've done it before, so you know what it takes to win a Geelong Cup, but there's probably you're going to need extra luck tonight given the rain here and the wet track.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just hopefully they get a clear run early and we'll just see what they do.
And Shirella Bale, what have you got planned for her next? Anything on the horizon?
Not really. We're just waiting to see how she went tonight, and we'll just map something out after this.
Well, she looks like she's going to be a very handy chaser for you. She's already had 11 or 12 starts now for 5 wins and 4 placings, so been in the money more often than not. So congratulations, Tom, to you and Andrea and the rest of the kennel there and the team at the Daily Kennels in Anarchy, and well done and all the best in the Cup coming up next.
Good on you. Thank you.
James and Troy, there we have Sorella Bale, who's puffing away there but looking pretty happy with herself with this lovely green rug on here tonight at Geelong, taking out the Millers Muzzles Geelong Oaks final, $7,250 to the winner there. So guys, it's not long now until we have the Geelong Cup coming up, so looking forward to your preview on this Facebook Live event on Greyhound Racing Victoria's Facebook page. Take it away, guys.
Thanks very much for that, Simone, and also Tommy Daly for some insights in there. Interesting, Tommy's suggesting the track on the inside might actually not be the place to be.
Well, it is interesting, but the good thing is, if that is the case and the rain maybe is affecting certain parts of the track, well, we go to a completely different track, which is a rarity in, I think, any track. I don't think there's another one in Australia where we...
No, Bulli used to be until it was washed away in the mid-90s.
Murray Bridge has got the straight, which is sort of connected to the circle. But this is the mega complex down here at Geelong, so we move to a completely new track that's just been freshened up for an hour before we get to the Geelong Cup. And I just had some news come through from Andrew Copley. Tab.com.au under today's offers are allowing a AFL Greys special. So obviously we're down here at Geelong for the Geelong Cup. The local greyhound is Shimmer Shine. There's a double Shimmer Shine to win the Geelong Cup into Geelong Cats to win the flag tomorrow at the Gabba. $7 they're offering. So make sure you get into that $7 for the double there.
That's pretty good value, isn't it?
It is. Well, Shimmer Shine's $2.80. Geelong are what, $2? $1.95.
Yep, that's right.
Extra $1.50 for nothing for every dollar. You wouldn't say no, would you?
No, definitely not. No, I'd always like an extra $1.50 for a dollar. That'd be outstanding.
I'll take an extra 5 cents for a dollar at the moment, but no, look, the Cup, it's only 10 minutes away, mate. There's some money now, $2.70 for Shimmer Shine, so just starting to be the runner they're supporting late on.
Yeah, just starting to look now. We'll get the prices up again in terms of from Tab, and also we had the Watchdog prices up there earlier, and as we said, the Watchdog's certainly been developed by some very clever background guys and girls at GRV and their IT and their racing and marketing departments, and we certainly can't wait to see that continue to grow, and that's where we get all our information from, as well as our partner in Tab. And Tab at the moment, that's the market for the Geelong Cup, which, what do we got, 19 minutes till the race?
9
9
minutes.
minutes till the race.
Settle
So
down, Troy.
Shimmer Shine into $2.70. $2.70.
Yeah, $2.70 Shimmer Shine down the board. $21 Gladioli Bale, but was $51 yesterday or thereabouts. $2.70 for Shimmer Shine. $19 Bobby the Brooder. I just keep coming back to him as the real smoky of the field. $4.60 Tiggerlong Tonk. Yozo Bale $34. $4 Catch the Thief. $3.30 Simon Told Helen Sweet as M at 26. And I think if you go through Catch the Thief's form, I mean, he was the favourite for the Adelaide Cup. He was just ran down by Golden Knight. To have him at $4, it just speaks volumes of just how strong this Geelong Cup really is.
We started at $1.70 in a Group 1.
Yeah.
2 starts back in the Adelaide Cup, and a very good Adelaide Cup. He's already multiple Group 1 winner, an outstanding litter, obviously playlist went particularly well at Sandown last night as well. But yeah, just to think that a ground like that's $4, and you said the dog like Simon Told Helen, he's been a pin-up dog for the last 12 months, $5.10 at the moment on Paramutual. So it says a lot about the quality of race that this race is, and obviously offering $50,000 to the winner. Pretty much so it should be, but we might even have a look maybe individually at these runners if we sort of go odd and even and go through the careers of these greyhounds, because as we said, $1.63 million in prize money to date. And I'll kick off with Gladiola Bale, obviously in box number 1. 42 starts for 10 wins and 12 placings. Has earned $45,000 in prize money. Finished second off from box 7 in the Geelong Cup heat last week behind Tiggerlong Tonk. Was $21 on that occasion, is $21 again tonight. But Gladiola Bale, a $21 chance, it's won nearly $50,000 and 10 out of 42.
Number 2 is Shimmer Shine. This is a greyhound who burst onto the scene last year as a finalist and a place getter in the 2019 $1 million chase. The greyhound's proven himself. He's a little bit more seasoned, a bit more of a experienced campaigner. He's won 23 out of 37, and you go back to his bull eye form through the $1 million chase, 25.82, 25.87. They are out of this world. He had no luck there in the semis on the 9th of October, but then of course came here last week, and he didn't begin brilliantly, and I heard through the week that was his first ever run at the inside track. I believe he hasn't trialled there. He's had no looks despite only being trained about 10 or 15 minutes down the road, so you'd have to say there's improvement in this star greyhound from box number 2.
It happens a lot. Greyhounds coming back from Wentworth Park with the big audio or audible lure echoing through the grandstand, which would have been empty as well. There's no doubt that the greyhound will benefit from that start, there's no question. Number 3, Bobby the Brute, another one of the roughies, but an outstanding performance last week. Ren Shimmer Shine to length and a half, probably spotted at 7 or 8 at one stage.
Yeah, it's a big run.
Down the back. Another greyhound that's an impressive record, 31 starts for 7 wins and 10 placings for Brendan Purcell. And I think Bobby the Brute is pretty big overs for a greyhound that can be storming along the inside late at $21.
Yeah, he could get the run, no doubt about that. Tigalong Tonk, number 4 in the blue vest for Corey Grenfell. He was runners-up in the Bendigo Cup behind Yozo Bale, and he meets the kennel mate here once again. But I've been told Sam Grenfell, who handled Yozo Bale, has made the switch. Thought it was only fair, let Tigalong Tonk have his time to shine. So he's won 30 out of 56. I don't think we really need to mention, because everybody in the sport knows who Tigalong Tonk is, and they know what he's capable of. He went 29.83 last week. The one thing I will say about his heat win last week, he got all of the room in the world. Gladioli Bale made a V-line to the rail, and he just had so much space to move. From box 4 tonight, is he going to get that space? We're going to have to wait and see.
Yozo Bale, as you said, the kennel mate, or Yozo Bale for Corey Grenfell, and Samantha Grenfell won the Bendigo Cup. Probably struggles a tad at the end of the 5:20, as you saw last week when leading up, and Sweet as M grabbed it right on the line, but did run 5:39 to the mark, drawn awkwardly in box 5. We say Sam's now handling Tigalong Tonk, so whether that's the male over there as to which kennel mate that she certainly favours. But Yozo Bale has won $100,000 in prize money, 35 starts for 14 wins and 13 placings. You certainly can't fault a ground with that record, and yet it's $41.
Not a bad kennel duo, is it? They've earned just under $400,000 between them. It's extraordinary. Catch the Thief is runner number 6, and I think all we can mention of Catch the Thief is just how brilliant he is, and how enormous he was last week, Troy, to actually qualify for this race, because he scrambled as soon as he left the leads. He was almost down on his nose, and he gave a good field a head start, and then down the back just gave Halbert Bale and a few others windburn. He still went 29.90, so to put that in perspective, he was still within a length and a half of the fastest qualifiers. So he's a genuine contender, drawn box number 6. Just again, the draw. Can he get into a good place at the first corner?
Number 7, Simon Told Helen, the superstar of the last 12 months, has earned nearly $650,000 in prize money. 37 starts for 22 wins and 9 seconds. So the one start here, obviously, last week in the heat, and led all the way in that, running 5:34 and putting a space on them, beating Lucy's Milo by 8 lengths. It's funny with Simon Told Helen, you look at the form and it's all picket fences out of the boxes, but he's actually not the best dog to begin on most occasions. And freeze framed the heat last week. He's probably 4th or 5th, a neck or a half a neck behind those grounds, and just explodes. And it's a funny thing, I talk about Simon Told Helen. I was talking to a couple of guys the other day, that Simon Told Helen's record almost looks like a Fernando Bale type record, but hasn't actually got the name up in lights like Fernando Bale has. But as I said, $650,000 in prize money, 22 starts for 37 wins. Very, very difficult to go past Simon Told Helen in any race whatsoever, and probably benefit a little bit too from having a week at home after these grounds went through the $1 million chase. They were tough campaigns.
That's right, and going up to Temora was a real challenge as well. He qualified, of course, through that regional part of New South Wales, but we all know what he's capable of doing. And I did a segment on the Thrill of the Chase, the TV series that GRV had last year. This greyhound at Sandown Park on Melbourne Cup night last year, from the first corner to the end of the back straight, was a length and a half quicker than Fernando Bale. That is just how good he is, which is it's amazing. It is exactly that. And if he can begin on terms, he could be too good. Sweet as M, drawn box number 8. Well, it's just going to be a game of luck for her. She's not a fast beginner. She's going to be back in the pack, but she'll look to rail. And the one thing you know with Sweet as M, she'll be charging home at the end. She's had 17 wins out of 48 starts. She's never won from box number 8, but she loves it here at Geelong. 5 starts, 3 wins, 2 placings, and I circle the PB 29.64, which is faster than any other runner when in the heat. So she's done it before It's going to be a challenge from box number 8, though.
But it's an outstanding field, mate. It's $1.63 million in prize money to date. One of those runners will pocket $50,000, tick over $13,000 for second and over $6,500 for third. So another nice swell in the bank account. Would be nice if you're filling a placing with any of that sort of prize money on offer.
Look, I'd be happy with the $80 starters fee, to be honest, Troy. But no, look, time
You tipped
for
the paper boy. That what are you talking about? Come on.
Time for the selections. We haven't tipped a winner yet tonight, so I think it's time we bounce into some winning form. But I'll go 7, 2, 3 and 1. I'm going Simon Told Helen on top. I just think if he can begin on terms, he can burn down the outside, and we'll see this superstar Greyhound storm away to a Geelong Cup success. And I just feel like he's returning to a little bit of form as well. And if he can win this, he's back to being probably the favourite for the Melbourne Cup, and I'd love to see him do the double. For second, I've gone 2 Shimmer Shine. Should get the nice run behind Gladioli Bale, and I think he's a huge chance to win the Cup. I've gone 3 Bobby the Brute for third. I just think he could get the gun run, and Gladioli Bale likewise. I've left out Tiggerlong Tonk. I've left out Catch the Thief. I'm probably going to rue that decision, but hey, let's see what happens.
Well, mate, I've gone 2, 6, 7 and 3. I've gone for Shimmer Shine. Just think that he can hold a position from the inside. I'm not convinced the other greyhounds. I think they have to hit the lids running to be able to cross him. I'll just go Shimmer Shine for a little bit of luck from box number 2. From 6, Catch the Thief. Basically fell over on his stomach out of the boxes. His effort last week was phenomenal. 7, Simon Told Helen. Can't possibly leave him out. And number 3, Bobby the Brute, to be flashing home for the multiples at big odds. So my numbers 2, 6, 7 and 3. Simone Fisher, her numbers, she tipped us earlier, was 7, 2, 6 and 4. She's gone 7 Simon Told Helen, from 2 Shimmer Shine, 6 Catch the Thief and 4 Tiggerlong Tonk. And Molly Haynes, not wanting to get on screen, but she gave us her tips there earlier. Her numbers are 4, 7, 2 and 1. We've got a photo of her on screen there anyway. Number 4 Tiggerlong Tonk to beat 7 Simon Told Helen, 2 Shimmer Shine and 1 Gladioli Bale. So a quick look at the market. We basically can't get on, but pretty much Shimmer Shine is out to 310, fixed odds 330 pari-mutuel. Simon Told Helen 360 into 320. The Greyhounds are starting to be boxed now. Still looking at Simon Told Helen and one of the big 4?
Yeah, Simon Told Helen, I think the way to go. I think he's going to be hard to beat. Don't forget Tab offering that Shimmer Shine Geelong double for $7. But let's go Simon Told Helen and take out the Geelong Cup.
Thank you, Brittany. Yes, one of the best, if not the best Geelong Cup we've ever seen in the long history of the race. Hooked on Scotch, of course, won the race last year, but this year we're stepping up to 520. Getting set, moving in for the Beckley Centre Geelong Gold Cup final. A Group 2 level, $50,000 to Winning Connections. And they're set to go. Green light, they're box set for a start. About to run. Ready. Set. Racing, and Simon Told Helen jumped away okay. Gladioli Bale on the inside, the leader. Simon Told Helen is scorching from near the outside and goes across and takes the lead, going to the back straight, about 4 or 5 lengths clear. Tiggerlong Tonk is up to second. Back on the inside there, Shimmer Shine. They were followed by Bobby the Brute. A gap on the race at Gladioli Bale, followed by Sweet as Him, and back to the tail of the field is Catch the Thief, and also Sweet as Him coming off the back straight, and Simon Told Helen the leader, 3 lengths out in front. Tiggerlong Tonk the inside, Bobby the Brute, but it's Simon Told Helen, just what the doctor ordered. Won it from Bobby the Brute, followed by Tiggerlong Tonk, and then came Shimmer Shine. Behind them over on the inside, then Sweet as Him, followed by Catch the Thief and Yoso Bale, and the time is 29.98 in an epic edition of the Geelong Cup. Number 7, Simon Told Helen, the winner at about $4. Simon Told Helen, number 7. That's another big one. Simon Told Helen, 5:39, 17:01, and the time is around 29.98. Round 29.98. 7 Simon Told Helen for Barcia Bar from Who Told Lindy. The Emma's boys setting it. B Parsons, P Douglas, M Carroll, S Crowley and J O'Toole. And the winner is trained by David Burnett. Congratulations, David, on a fabulous job with the Simon Told Helen, as we stand by for confirmation of all numbers. It'll be 7 Simon Told Helen in 29.98 to take the...
Oh, guess who's back? Back again. I'm back. Simon Told Helen's back. I love that dog.
I know one thing. I wouldn't say old habits, current habits die hard. Trying to listen to the Hawk, and then this young bloke that called Hillsville this morning for 12 races just chimes in and...
What did I say at the first corner? I'm like, I can't remember what I said. I was absolutely thrilled. Yeah. I said, as Greggy Miles once said, he's burning. I said, he's burning.
Yeah, the Tim Newbold burn, and then the Greg Miles, the champion, becomes a legend.
A champion becomes. I love Simon Told Helen though. His prize money just short of 700,000, and I think now he does elevate up the list again as a real genuine Melbourne Cup challenger, because I think it's fair to say the Sydney campaign didn't go to plan. Obviously, it was a big challenge as well, and Dave Burnett having to get the Greyhound up to Temora and then up to Sydney to Wentworth Park. So it was obviously a pretty tough, I guess, couple of weeks on the Greyhound, and to bring him back to Geelong, and last week I thought it was a step in the right direction, and again tonight he just put the sword to them at the first corner. Tigalong Tonk tried to kick through, but he's just so fast at the first corner.
It was just so tight. I mean, some of those other greyhounds are nice and brave, and Tigalong Tonk and Shimmer Shine to come out of that pack just shows to chase those greyhounds. And the greyhound we spoke about that would be charging home, Bobby the Brute. There's a decent race in Bobby the Brute at some stage.
Oh, look, 100%. And I think down here he'll probably end up getting up over the 600 metres as well, because he was taking ground off Shimmer Shine, Tigalong Tonk. He proved that last week that he's got that class. But I will say with Bobby the Brute, I think he's probably the greyhound that suits this track really well. The tight corners where he can just get that nice suck run through on the inside, and he performed really, really well. But it was the Simon Told Helen show as it turned out, and I think we've got Simone Fisher getting prepped in just a moment for the presentation. And how about that? Simon Told Helen, Dave Burnett, he's had a really tough week, and I think this is fitting that the brother of Who Told Stevie takes out the Geelong Cup and does it in smashing fashion as well. So well done to Dave, and no doubt this would be, I guess, a tiny bit of a consolation for he and the family.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a sad thing to lose any greyhound, but certainly one that's so successful and obviously so dear to the kennel. But then to have this happened tonight, certainly got to help the emotions go a little bit higher. And obviously, as you said, nearly now just under $700,000 in prize money for Simon Told Helen, and that performance was there was no room for the brave. Was it no? What is that? There's no. Whatever it is, no place for the faint-hearted, brave-hearted. Hey,
I must say though, Troy, that. Imagine the crowd if there was a crowd here.
Oh, it would have been
that would have been the crowd would have erupted when he took the lead, because he's a crowd favourite. Simon Told Helen. He's a local greyhound. He's from Little River, down where they block the road down there on the way out to Geelong, and Little River will be erupting, no doubt. They'd all be tuning into the Facebook Live coverage, and they'd be thrilled with a wonderful win and a greyhound that. Where could he end up? I mean, really, he could easily end up with $1.3 million prize money. He'll go the Top Gun, the Melbourne Cup. He'll probably bounce back for an Australian Cup, maybe even a Ballarat Cup. And if he can begin like he did tonight, just on terms, his acceleration is the best in the country as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it sort of gets away from the fact he's only had 38 race starts. You think Simon Told Helen's been at the top of the tree for a while, but it's only 12 months ago that the greyhound certainly stamped himself as that type of greyhound, and not turning 3 till January.
It's crazy.
There's another 12 months in Simon Told Helen.
It's a little bit like Flying Ricardo as well. We talk about him. He was 21 months old into $1 million chase, and he's another greyhound that would probably be sitting back in 12 months, and I don't think the kennel are going to bring him down for this carnival in Melbourne, but I did read that somewhere, but I think next year he'll go for the $1 million chase again. He'll be a year stronger, a year more experienced, and then he'll probably come down for a Melbourne Cup campaign, and greyhounds, they can race for 2 or 3 years at the top of their game, and it's scary to think we could see STH go around for at least another 12 months.
It's
exciting.
It's scary, but it's exciting. That's the best thing. And unlike the thoroughbred well, he's retired a stud. Hopefully the Simon Told Helen continues to do that. But now we're ready to have the presentation now, the Beckley Centre Gold Cup with Simon Told Helen.
And we're looking at Simon Told Helen, who is the 2020 Geelong Gold Cup winner. And David, with this rain drawn off the track, you must have been quietly confident heading into the final.
Slightly confident. Far from confident.
Far from confident.
Yeah, far from confident. He's had 3 runs on wet tracks in the Silver Bullet at St Meadows last year. We led by 15 and got run down when it rained. The 2 runs at Warrnambool in the Warrnambool Cup. I was petrified tonight. I was lying in the car drinking a few grape juices, just saying please stop raining. But again, dog's credit, he just does everything he needs to do.
He sure does. I'm glad I didn't speak to you before I did my tips, because I did put him on top. I thought he'd get across, and he just proved us right, didn't he, that he's got that explosive early pace. And track like tonight, he's super strong. Once he hit the lead, it was a matter of catch me if you can.
Yeah, again, just his early pace, that pace, that mid-race pace, I think is what breaks the race up on him, on the others every time. And just to do that each time, it's just super. And again, the dog just keeps doing it week in, week out, which is terrific.
David, 12 months ago he started on this ride of winning group races with the Great Chase, and since then he's taken out The Great Chase, this Silver Chief, Perth Cup, Harrison Dawson Maturity, Geelong Cup, and there's probably been a couple of other little group races along the way. Also crowned the Australian Greyhound of the Year. It's topping off an amazing career for this greyhound. Has won now just shy of $700,000, and you must be feeling good heading to the Melbourne Cup Series now.
Again, I'm still shaking my head. Again, to 8 group races in 12 months, never raced in a Grade 5 race in his life. Every week to be buttering up in heats and finals, and to just keep doing it. It's just credit to the dog. He's just got that want, that need, that desire to chase, and again, just a true race dog. And to his credit tonight on the wet track, he punched it out. And again, I didn't know the result till 5 minutes after the race, until the steward started swabbing me, so the scoreboard was down. So yeah, again, yeah, terrific effort.
And some of the owners, I know one, Brian Parsons, I think he'll be climbing the walls at the moment. He lives probably a stone's throw from the track here, not here tonight, along with the other owners. But what a ride this dog's taken them on as well.
Yeah, again, I think there's 3 or 4 local owners here from Geelong that would love to be in here tonight to celebrate this with us. And again, unfortunately, due to COVID, we can't do that. But again, they're enjoying the ride, and they love the dog, and they're getting every bonus out of what he keeps doing. And again, it's great for him, great for them, and great for the industry to see him doing it.
He's had a great 12 months, talking of greatness. Plenty of greats in this conversation here tonight, David, but his 12 months, he's had a very solid 12 months, so must have been fairly injury-free throughout.
Oh yeah, he's had a couple of little breaks after Perth and after qualifying for the $1 million race, and they're the 2 little breaks he had for 2 or 3 weeks, and he's no injuries. But again, the dog just from day one has chased his heart out and shown. Again, I'm just speechless of what the dog's capable of every time. He just keeps coming up, and that field tonight was just sensational, and to get across them, just terrific.
When you're crossing dogs like Catch the Thief and Tigalong Tonk and all of those, to get out in front, we know those greyhounds are pacey, but I think being drawn off the track really played in his favour tonight, and yours as well. So yeah. Perhaps it was nice going in not feeling overconfident, because it's a great surprise.
Yeah, again, I'm quietly confident, but again, box 7 was where he won the Perth Cup from, and the Cup night sprint he come from 7, and tonight he just had to get his traditional get out of the box and get going, and just hope he got across, and he got turned big time sideways here on the corner. I didn't know who got hit the front, and then sure enough he got out to the front, and then we knew down the back that he had to find sort of 3 or 4 lengths clear down the back to hold him off, and luckily he was that far in front, and I still don't even know how far he won by. I haven't seen the replay. Don't even know who ran second. So
no, it's not up on the...
Congratulations to those guys who did come second, and commiserations to the others who, again, they've all got great futures, all those other dogs.
Yeah, certainly have, and we've spoken about the Melbourne Cup, but you've got the Top Gun coming up. He's on the short list for that, so he loves the Meadows as well, and it'll be terrific to see him head around there in the next couple of weeks, David.
Yep, again, he's hit form at the right time, so which is great to see, and hopefully he continues on for the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, I'm sure it will, and look, without putting a dampener on it, you had a bit of a rough trot a few weeks ago with his kennel mate, or litter mate, who told Stevie. So this maybe a little bit bittersweet, but wonderful that he could come out tonight.
Yep, done it for Stevie.
Yep, he's done it for Stevie. Well done, David. Well done. Simon told Helen, you've had a lot riding on your shoulders tonight, mate, but you've done everyone proud, and I know that there'll be a lot of cheering not far away from here at Corio. So James and Troy, a very emotional interview here towards the end, and rightly so, because what a champion greyhound this greyhound is. Simon told Helen, take it back.
Such a humble man is David Burnett, and a little bit emotional at the end there as well, that presentation.
Yeah, look, it's, as we touched on earlier, Troy, it would have been a horrible week to have one of his kennel superstars, and a lot of these trainers, they treat their greyhounds like their pets, and it's almost like losing a family member. So really, really sad week for Dave, the kennel, and the family, but to bounce back and win with Simon told Helen, it would just grow his bond, I think, even more to this greyhound. He's a wonderful dog, and he just continues to perform well, and we've been joined by a very, very special guest now, is what I see.
Yeah, we do. The glowing Molly Haynes. Molly Geelong Cup night, a little different to what you planned as well. We probably didn't expect to see you a couple of hours ago given the message I got. But what did you think of the Geelong Cup, Mo?
Look, I think it was a monster effort by Simon Told Helen. I do apologise to everyone. I'm not quite presentable enough to go on camera at the moment, but my voice will have to do. But I just think it was amazing to be able to be on course to witness what Simon Told Helen did. And I think, you really take for granted not being able to be out and watch everything that's happening and be here in person. And I think exactly, as David got emotional up there with around the owners and the connection to losing Stevie, this is, it's one of the horrible things about life, I suppose, in general. But for Simon Told Helen to come out and do what he's done, we still don't know who the placings are. I don't think any of us.
That's a step back in time, isn't it?
I've just got to cut Molly off there as well, because she said she's not presentable, and clearly she hasn't looked at us too. I found that very funny because, and it must be pregnancy, because my wife was exactly the same. She's like, I can't go. I can't go get the groceries and whatever. And she goes, I look terrible. I don't know if it was just an excuse, but she looked like she was glowing, and likewise Molly. I think it's crazy.
This is very interesting times. Not have the result yet for the minor placings. It's sort of like the old...
Oh, here we go. No, we've got 3 coming through now. So what's that? Bobby the Brute has come through. It was a monster effort by Bobby the Brute there. So
Tiggerlong Tonk third, Shimmer Shine fourth. So
yeah.
Molly works obviously in the marketing department at JV. Molly, very interesting 6 months trying to promote greyhound racing. We've gone from promoting those events to promoting these type of things, obviously in online shows, and really connecting greyhound racing. Wagering has gone through the roof. I think the connection to greyhound racing has gone through the roof as well. Fingers crossed now that we've able to maintain that right throughout the football season, that your department will be able to continue to maintain that through the summer. Obviously we go to Top Gun, and then we go to Melbourne Cups, and then we go to Ballarat Cups and Sale Cups, and then the Western District Carnival in the new year. So hopefully we can maintain that rage and eventually some stage get people back on track.
Absolutely. I think it was so important for us being the eyes on the track for people who can't be there, and that's exactly what you 3 have done tonight, and we can't thank you enough. I'm sure everyone at home is really enjoying it. So it was an absolute cracker Geelong Cup, and I'm glad we've got the results now. So a huge effort by Bobby the Brute to run second there, as well as Tiggerlong Tonk to run fourth. So what a Geelong Cup we had.
Yeah, it was extraordinary, wasn't it? As I said when we were watching it, that burn that Simon Told Helen has, I've been pretty big on him from day one. As soon as he appeared at Warrnambool and he went really quick in his first couple of starts, he just looked like the real deal, and I think he's going to have a wonderful stud career when we do see him retire, and I think it's an exciting time. You don't want them to retire too soon, but I can't wait till we have so many more Roman nose greyhounds running around, because we saw it with Fernando Bale. Like, it was rare to see a white greyhound for a while there, and then all of a sudden Fernando becomes the boom sire, and there are little white and fawn greyhounds, white and brindle greyhounds everywhere, and who knows, in 12 months from now or 2 years from now, there might be little Roman noses everywhere.
Certainly might be, and back in the dry weather now. Simone, you've done a wonderful job for us tonight. I can give you the tip. We gave you the short straw there, but David Burnett, such a humble individual in his speech. He was very obliging to all other finalists, and obviously a little bit emotional at the end there as well.
He was, and it wasn't my intention to make him emotional, of course, but it is, I think, to look at greyhound racing and a win like this, you need to reflect on the not so great moments as well, because that's what it's all about. It's not about putting a dog in the box and winning a Group 2 or 3 or Group 1 event every time you go out. So I think just a little bit of perspective there, and we get very attached to these dogs. You're with them day in, day out, and your life revolves around them. You've got to go down the supermarket, but you have to be back to let dogs out or feed them or gallop them or whatever it is. So it's not just as simple as just putting them in a box and collecting a winner's check at the end. There's so much more involved. And when they're with you every day, you get to know their personalities, and it's just like having a mate that you don't have. And I think David really epitomised that tonight, just the care that we have for the greyhounds.
I was going to say as well, I think for Dave Burnett, like he would give that prize money and the trophy back tonight to have his good mate Simon, who told Stevie back in the kennel, and to have won the race, like I said to Troy a moment ago, Simone, it's obviously somewhat of a very, very minor consolation on what had been a really horrible week for the kennel.
I think so, but look, tonight he came into it not too confident as well. With the field that he was in with Simon Told Helen, I said, I'm glad I didn't speak to you before the race or before I did my tips, because you would have changed my mind. But I think given the track conditions tonight, being drawn off the track was probably slightly better. And yeah, he seemed genuinely surprised that he won. Not that, or genuinely surprised, I guess, that he got around the field. Obviously, when he's in front, he's very confident that he's going to win. He's got the strength. But David did sort of seem to me that, he went in quietly confident, but not bullish about his chances.
Well, we were all pretty ordinary on the tip up until that race, and Troy, you're still ordinary.
I'm very.
So what I've decided, Simone, you're on for the next Country Cup.
Am I?
Troy, we're going to move him.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to send him into the grandstand. Hopefully there's people allowed back then, and it'll just be me and you, because we were able to tip the winner there in the last. We might bring Molly back now. On a serious note, without Troy here, I think the ship would have well and truly sunk by now.
But I did get the trifecta in the first, in the Derby. I did get the try.
yes.
Like if you boxed up the trifecta, I did get 3 out of the 4 numbers.
And
So
you're the only one that mentioned
that's
Sorella
right.
Bale in your 4 as
So
well.
we're
Yeah.
both fired. Simone and Molly can take over
So
next time.
she has pretty much lived up to that brag that she had about her outstanding
yeah.
results
Yeah.
earlier on.
Oh, I don't know about that. But do you know what's really funny? With this whole COVID thing, and I'm just digressing a little bit, but I haven't actually, like most people. James, you hadn't worn a suit for over 6 months, and couldn't find your shoes and all that. And Troy, you're all done up, and I'm thinking, I hope I've got something I fit into. Luckily, I did, but I haven't been wearing makeup. So now, obviously on camera, and I've got to have this face mask on. So I'm hoping I haven't got lipstick smeared all over my face or anything like that.
No, I think we've all scrubbed up okay, or us two. You look wonderful, but us two,
Thanks, James.
I don't know about me and Troy, but I must say...
You didn't see me earlier before I was here doing
We have
dogs
to
and
thank
horses.
that lighting again from Ken, I can guarantee that, and a little bit of magic work there from Paul Campbell. But it's been a great night, obviously 3 sensational feature races. As we said before too, obviously it's the Geelong Cats team. It's all about the Geelong Cats down here, but we did have our photographer Clint Anderson have a little bit of fun earlier on. On screen now is what he did to the basically vandalism as far as the local Geelong guy would say.
Should be banned
with a
from the club.
Richmond supporter, obviously bought all his gear with him, had a bit of fun. There's a little video if you want to go to the Greyhound Clubs Victoria Facebook page if you don't follow Blue Stream Pictures, and you'll see that there. It's quite funny, but obviously it's all about the Geelong Cats here. But tonight, as far as the racing went, it was all about Simon Told Helen. Outstanding. It's great now to see these greyhounds go through to the next big feature race in the next 6 or 7 months to keep us nice and entertained. And as we said, it was a wonderful, humble speech by David Burnett, an emotional speech. It just shows the connection that we have to greyhounds, not just the fast ones, but the slow ones as well. They're with us the same amount of time. We've all got greyhounds, and that's the wonderful story of it. Basically being a family support and a lifelong passion, and things like the $50,000 checks come as a bonus because you didn't expect that when you had the dog.
Yeah, look, 100%. I think when you get involved in greyhound racing, you realise there are a lot more challenging times where you're out cleaning up poo and wee and things like that of the dogs, let's be honest, and it's always...
It happens all the time.
It's not the most glorious thing to do, but and when you do get, whether it be a Geelong Cup or whether it be a Tier 3 maiden at Hillsville, I think we all get that buzz and that thrill of being able to have a winner, and as I can say, and I say it so many times, if you haven't been involved in ownership of greyhounds or maybe one day want to venture out into training, I just say do it, get involved, buy a small share of a greyhound, because there is no better thrill. It's like getting the quaddie 4 times in one day. That's the kind of thrill you get when you get a greyhound that salutes, and let me tell you, to get 1 quaddie is hard, so getting 4 would be very, very good. So
to get a winner's heart.
That's right, especially 1,000 Metro winners Andrea Daly had
just
at Sandown.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. I still haven't trained 1 winner at Sandown, Simone. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
it comes
that,
as a
James.
shock, but
yeah, it did actually, because I know you get your winners around Hillsville. And
we've owned a few Metro winners, but
they're hard to win.
Only a small kennel, and there are vacancies, Molly. So if Sorella Bale or any of these Simon Told Helen needs a break,
spare kennel.
We've got a spare kennel for Simon Told Helen. So I'll have a chat to Dave Burnett, and he'll probably say no.
Well, but basically Gold Cup night, we've got 4 races left. Race 9's about to go now, which if you want to switch over to that to Sky, because we're still talking here and closing up, it'll be basically 3 races left to go on Geelong Cup night. Molly, you would like to say something?
I would. I just wanted to make a special mention to the owners as well of Simon Told Helen. They're doctors down Geelong Way. I'm not sure if anyone is aware of their story, but they got involved because Brian, the breeder of this greyhound, involved in breeding this greyhound, was sick and under their care, and said, "Righto, you guys better get involved in greyhounds." That was all those years ago. So we've had photo shoots on the waterfront. We've done everything with them. So it's fantastic that they're able to come away with the Geelong Cup victory. It's just a shame they couldn't be here because they're only just down the road.
Just all walks of life in greyhound racing, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. And as I said, Molly, just earlier, the atmosphere would have been enormous if there was a crowd here, because I think the local feel, the vibe with the footy on tomorrow as well, and Simon Told Helen, a local greyhound, winning this cup. Look, he's got a bit of a cult following. I think he has from day dot because of his brilliance. And like Dave Burnett said when he had a chat to you before, Simone, he's always in a heat and into a final. He doesn't just go after easy races. So people who get to know greyhound racing, they've got to know that if you go to a big race, Simon Told Helen's more than most likely there.
Funny story about his Roman nose. There's a lady that owns a greyhound called You Tell Me that Calgrino trained, Cindy Alderson. They've got racehorses, and she loves Simon Told Helen, but she doesn't want to take You Tell Me to him because she doesn't want pups with Roman noses. So,
If there's a
funny
win
story.
700,000 with a Roman nose, it'd be very happy to have a little Roman nose. I can tell you.
Agree.
Yeah, I'm
I'd agree,
sure.
100%.
We certainly need to thank everybody for tuning in. Obviously, it would have been wonderful, and obviously wonderful for the club, wonderful for everyone else that had been here. Thankfully, we've been able to do this through the COVID restrictions. I certainly thank you, James, for joining us after working 12 races with Hillsville and rushing here today. Wonderful effort. Thanks very much.
It's been a pleasure, mate. Just happy to get out of Melbourne Metro for a few hours. I'll go back to my little rabbit warren tonight, I suppose, and sit there for a few more weeks.
And Simone, thanks very much for braving the weather for us and bringing some terrific interviews for those 3 feature races.
Oh, that's fine. It's been wonderful being here. Gee, it's been a while since I've done this type of thing, so it's great to be back on familiar stomping ground and, close to home, 5-minute drive home, so it's good for me.
That's outstanding. Obviously, Molly, thanks for getting off the sick bed this afternoon and bringing us food and information, everything else you've done. It's been wonderful for that. We certainly appreciate that. To Clint Anderson, the best racing photographer in the business, also did our wonderful lights and made us look half respectable. And to Paul Campbell, the producer, and obviously to GRV and the Geelong Greyhound Racing Club for allowing us to do this. Fingers crossed we might get Laird back at another track very soon to be able to do another feature race. And until then, may you back plenty of winners. Whichever team you follow tomorrow night, hope they win. And in my view of the rugby league, go the Storm.